All right, we managed to pick this building up before the end of the week last week. Everything was working so smoothly, so I just kept right on a going. We pulled out well, first we got the beam up like I said and got our shores underneath it onto our cribbing arrangements, and then I set up the laser in here and I ran up this the least, this a bit more, and this the most, to get to a point where the top edge of the lifting beam is the same distance from a laser level line in here. So I was running the laser, hanging my tape off of that. It worked out to be 48 inches just by happenstance or whatever. But it was, the most important thing is that the number is all the same in these three locations. So I can be sure that the top surface of this lifting beam is nice and level. And so the bottom surface of all the joists are on that. And all the joists are roughly the same dimension. And so that's sort of the tolerance that we have for bringing this building back into plumb level and square. And that's where we are now. And then once it was up, that, you know, there was a crack through here like we saw in the other project where I could see light, and I just started breaking away at that foundation, which ended up not even really going into the ground. It was just sort of a trapezoid in cross section, just sort of a heap of river rock, which you can see out here mortared together. And as you can see, it's all about the same kind of rubble, but there's really no mortar stuck to any of the pieces, and that's because they were all just hanging out there with mortar formed around them. But long ago it hadn't bonded initially, or had come unbonded, and basically you know, I could crumble up the mortar with my fingers. So the structural integrity that this had was basically just because it was stacked together and mortared together as a unit, and it had basically turned into loose pieces and easily fell apart there. So we ripped it right on out of here, all the way around both corners. Well, at least this corner back here, and up front this has like this concrete I don't know, threshold here. I don't know how deep that goes. It's hard to see because of the exposure. I broke him out by driving over him a couple times with the skid steer. I assume he'll break out no problem here, so I will have to get the demo hammer and break him back a little bit. But for the most part, I would normally have gone around both corners here, and we're right up on this, which is making things worse before it gets better, because if you come out here and look, this was the high side, so it's up even higher now. Just a touch, but certainly, in fact, it's more stable. I was saying to my clients, joking about how it's more stable now than it's kind of ever been, being on those shores, which are just like lolly columns in your basement. So the issue becomes all the siding and the studs that go right on up to the second floor. When I notch them all the way across for the new beam, they could all just sort of fall down in a big belly here. There'd be nothing holding all that siding up, and there's some weight there, if you could imagine. You know, this is how I visualize the weight that I'm dealing with in the kinetics or physics of it. If you stacked all the siding boards up and all these 2x4s up, it'd be far more than you could lift, or a couple guys could even lift. There's probably a ton there, at least 600-700 pounds of lumber. Maybe more like 500 now. That's real old and crispy, but let's not split hairs here. Some of the joints are sitting open. You can see light. What do we want to do? We want to notch all the way along. We'll take this little ledger board out of here, and we're going to cut this stud right off flush with the joist, and then we're going to come down like 8 inches or something to make sure we have plenty of room for our 7 1/4 LVL. But then when you cut that, this whole piece of 2x4 and the next and the next and the next, and all the boards on there can fall down. So just sorry about the long story there, but that's what is the risk and what can happen. And so to alleviate that, we started right out with 12-foot 2x4s, and you can go with whatever length makes the most sense. The idea being, I put them on the outside right on a stud layout. I could see the nails going through the, at the bottom I could see the stud tails sticking out. Can I show you that? So you can see the stud sticking out. So I was centered on a stud down there and fired it. Then I went up top and looked behind it for the line of nails in the siding boards and put it center on those nails and shot it there. And then I shot it a couple more times. I established that 9 feet from the ground basically was where the beam's gonna fall. So I shot all the way down every foot or so to the 9-foot mark that I put on the 2x4. Then I came down a couple feet and I shot every few times there, leaving a couple feet with no nails going into the stud, because of course that's where I'm going to notch the stud out. But now I've got a hold of the stud below and above, and ultimately this whole wall will hang on the few nails that I have in all of these across the top, and it'll stay here and stay supported. And then when we're finished, we'll carefully just pop. Those are just framing nails, 3 inches or 3 1/4, and we'll just pop those 2x4s back off of here. What we're going to do to to anchor the siding is at the post location. As soon as there's a post in the ground and the beam, we'll nail through the siding into the beam all the way across, and we'll nail into the post with pairs on every siding board all the way down on the post. And that will be how the siding is supported, and then we can that'll be what we do prior to removing these 2x4s. The other thing that I did was I stood their ends right on the ground. You know, it won't hurt to have that. Not only is it hanging, but it's also physically interrupted by the ground itself, and all that should stay out of my way, because I figured, we said we're going to do 4 posts on this side, 1 in each corner, and 1 at the thirds, so that we have room for a French door here. And really, it works out. This window opening is going to become part of the French door opening. 1 post goes there, 1 post goes there, and what I'm saying is I kept these 2x4s way away from where I need to be doing digging in the ground for a post. I didn't want to throw that right on there and start to find out that I need to dig there. So first lay out where your posts are, then hang these down real nice. I did keep one towards the end, which may not make sense to some people. I like that. I don't like my corners coming apart. Corners are crucial to construction. That's why we call the cornerstone the most important piece. And so thereby there's a chance that, you know, the weight of this can sit down, and even though it's going to remain structurally integral, I am going to have to cut these boards back and sneak a post into here. I'm going to take those 2x4s off, and I just don't want anybody falling down, so I've immediately got, I don't want anything to change here. And I'll do all of that and then carefully dig to the right and try to preserve the footing that this has, and keep an eye on it. If I need to throw another 2x4 up here right next to him, the problem is there's trim on this opening. Otherwise I'd probably have been here, I would have gone that much further over, but because the 2x4 fall, the next 2 fall on either side of this opening, and down there I could get away with it, but they fall on either side of that opening, and then that opening is trimmed outside with vintage trim, and you know, to put the 2x4 right here would be an issue. And I had to start taking this off, which is a proper sill, and I didn't want to get into all of that. So there's concessions that you have to, things that you have to consider. But for right now, I think this is a well-supported wall, and I'm going to carefully go in and lay out my 8 inches down from every joist right along and get that notched. And then I'm going to work out the LVL pieces, put a long and a short, and then a long and a short, 2 layers. They'll go in with the Simpson hardware for the post on them already, and then I'll shoot them in all from outside at the right elevation to make sure I've nailed the siding right on through to the beam. And then I'll make some space in here, come in and dig myself 4 holes, throw my 4 footings in, and take my measurement from beam to footing to make my posts. And it really is just that simple. I'm going to try and burn through this, most of what I just went over today, and just finish it up tomorrow morning. It's going to get real hot, mid 80s to high 80s at the end of the week. That's what we call real hot here in western New York. It's low 70s today and tomorrow-ish. So I'm going to try and take advantage of working on the sunny side like I just did, and get out of the sun as soon as possible and keep a breeze blowing through here. Maybe I'll get a fan, but all right, that's how it's going, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you.